Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We finally made it. We are here on week one. We are back to Tru Picks, ladies and gentlemen. Picking the NFL slate. It is I, Stack King here. Going to be joined soon by Chase. I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in right now. I know I don't always get to thank everybody when we do these intros, but we do appreciate all the support that you guys have given us so far here on the True Heel Heat Sports Entertainment channel and on the True Heel Heat main channel. The amount of views, the amount of subscribers, it all means a lot to us. But we are here to talk about this first week of the NFL, and we finally made it through. This is a fun slate. I mean, granted, all of us are probably starved for football as it is. So the idea of this, any game would be a great game, but we do have some really, really cool games to talk about throughout the course of this season and course of this week. We definitely do for the season. But this is also a situation where we have 16 games. No teams are on bye. You can't be on bye in the first week unless you've already punted on the 2025 season, but no team has done that yet. Everyone still has that hope, that false hope that they're going to be able to pull off a win, pull off a miraculous season and make it to the playoffs, make it to the Super Bowl. And so there are different teams that are doing that throughout the course of this last week. They are ramping up practices. They're figuring out last-minute contracts that they need to try to do. James, thank you for joining us here. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about some of that news. James saying that I believe my Panthers will win week one against the Jaguars. We are definitely going to be talking about that game once Chase gets here. But before we get into the slate, there's a little bit of different pieces of news that I wanted to get to. A big one is the Steelers signing Jaylen Warren to a 2-year contract extension. This is big for a number of reasons. One, he got slightly more money than Najee Harris, or he's making slightly more money than Najee Harris, and I'm sure that means a lot to Jaylen Warren, the person. But from a team perspective, or from a projection perspective, you have to wonder what that means regarding Caleb Johnson's development. It is a situation where the Steelers usually are, they are a bell cow type of team. However, recently, the past couple of years, they have moved to a little bit more of a running back by committee led by Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren. And so is this just a question of them making sure they have a guy who is the 1A or making sure they have a guy who is the 1B, right? Because you don't draft someone like Caleb Johnson to have him be sitting that often, and you have a rookie contract that you're going to be able to work with when it comes to Caleb. So it's going to remain to be seen how the snap share really works out, particularly in a Mike Tomlin led offense or a Mike Tomlin team, Art Smith offensive scheme with Aaron Rodgers taking snaps behind that line. It's going to be a question of how much pressure they try to use these running backs to take off, how they use the running backs to take the pressure off of Aaron Rodgers, because it is a team that last year didn't have the greatest success at running the ball, and they sort of did when Justin Fields was there. Granted, a lot of that was Fields himself, but then when Russell Wilson came in, they did sort of become a bit more one-dimensional. And they did use a lot of receiving out of the backfield with the Jaylen Warrens of the world. So how that whole thing shakes out, that's going to be interesting to play along with. We did see after speaking of Najee Harris, he is ramping him up towards playing in week one after his eye injury over the summer. I think it was around July 4th. But which is a reminder, folks, don't play with fireworks unless you know what you're doing. But this is a situation to monitor here because it's another rookie running back situation, right? Omarion Hampton. And I'm sure that Chase has a lot to talk about when it comes to the situation there with Najee, the eye injury, and how all that's going to shake out. There's no real situation, I don't think, where Najee Harris is taking meaningful snaps away from Amari and Hampton, at least not week one. It's also a very tough matchup against the Chiefs on a Friday. You're technically the home team, but you are not in your home stadium. So whether they want to rush Najee into a situation, because this is a brand new team for him, a brand new offensive scheme, I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case. So maybe for week one, we do see a heavy workload for Hampton, and then they do kind of get Najee into the mix and use him more as they intended. Now, speaking of the Chiefs, speaking of the Chargers, this is a situation where we're seeing a lot of people change their power rankings and things like that because of the Micah Parsons trade. And I know that the NFL, like kind of their quote unquote official power rankings, moved the Packers up considerably because of that trade. But speaking of which, speaking of trades, because we talked about that last week, we are trading one host for two hosts. Chase, how are you doing this fine evening, sir?
Doing well, man. 2 more days, and we get to hear the NFL on NBC theme. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth. Football's kicking off, man. I'm excited, bro. So excited.
Yeah, so before you got here, I was just covering the quick news of Jalen Warren signing a 2-year contract extension with the Steelers, and Najee, your boy Najee, working his way back into the lineup. He's ramping up coming into week one. I anticipate that they're going to still pretty heavily use Hampton week
Yeah.
one because Najee has not had any real time to practice or anything like that.
Yeah, I expected Hampton, even with Najee being healthy, even when Najee was kind of doing stuff. But Hampton has been the main goal line back for the Chargers. So anyone who has Hampton in a fantasy league worrying about touches and stuff, Hampton will clearly outtouch Najee, and especially where it matters most in fantasy, in the goal line situations. That's where it matters the most. So
Yeah, and I think it is definitely going to be a situation to pay attention to because I would anticipate the Chargers had envisioned sort of a 1A 1B situation as Hampton got much more familiar with the offense, but unfortunately it's been kind of flipped. So
yeah.
before we get into the week one slate, let's take a quick look back, Ski, at how you and I did last year in the Pick'ems.
No.
We didn't start till week 3, and we had a couple weeks here and there where we weren't able to connect, but I think we did pretty solid. We did pretty solid.
Yeah. Got to raise up that percentage for me, but I like to choose underdogs. I'm not
That is true.
like
You do.
a lot of people. They just say which team is better. I try to look at some crazy picks every so often and stuff. So this year I'm still going to do that. It's not going to change, but we'll see if my luck turns around. I have a couple shockers this week.
That's what I was about to. I figured you would. So let's take a look at this week one slate and see what we got. And we're starting up hot. You got the Eagles, you got the Cowboys, one of the most lopsided over or plus minus for the money lines here. And we're taking this on a Tuesday, September 2nd from FanDuel. I will say one thing that is interesting when I look at the just general slate is that a lot of the away teams are either favored or it's like an even line. Like
Yeah.
that Colts Dolphins, for example, and Bears Vikings, that kind of makes sense. Bills Ravens, that really is a coin flip game. It's just like who do you slightly believe in more? But yeah, let's talk about this Eagles and Cowboys. I I I anticipate that the Cowboys are going to be trailing most of this one.
Yeah.
I can't really see a situation where the Eagles don't have some level of comfortability. I get that this is a division game, but man, you lost the key piece of your defense
Yeah.
a week before the game, pretty much a week before the game, and you got to figure things out. And you're going to Philadelphia. They're going to be raising that Super Bowl banner, and they want more. Like I don't know if I can pick against the I don't know if I can pick against the Eagles this time around. How about you?
Yeah, I think the Cowboys will come out. I think they're going to look a lot more competent than people are expecting. I think that the Eagles, a little bit of Super Bowl hangover. They have a lot of things going against them. Super Bowl hangover, For whatever reason, Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown have to have one fight with each other before they go on a run. Running back having to also, repeat what was a very successful 2K yard season. So it's like there's a lot of things going against the Eagles, but it's just I think they will win this game, but I think the score would be a lot closer than people are expecting. Like I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys early in the game lead by like a field goal or something. Everyone's like, "Oh wow, Dallas, who needs Micah Parsons?" And then the Eagles open up the floodgates, whether that's a Saquon Barkley huge run or they have one of their vintage Eagles drives where you can't get them off the field. They do the tush push 2 or 3 times and it leads to a touchdown. So I think the Eagles will win the game, but it'll be like they'll look bad in the first half, but in the second half, that's when they'll wake up and stuff. But yeah, I see the Eagles starting off 1-0.
Yeah, it is a situation where you're kind of like you can see where I agree with you. It could very well be a close game in the sense that you've got the Cowboys from behind, but like if the Eagles are still geared towards that run heavy offense, it could be low scoring enough where where the Cowboys are able to kind of get back into it.
Yeah.
So that I do agree with you in that sense that the score could be a lot closer than people anticipate, even with Micah Parsons out. But let's turn to Friday, where the Chargers have a home game, or so I heard.
Kind of cool me. I mean, it does look like it does look like we're at StubHub again. The arena we're playing at looks just like StubHub.com arena. What's it called now? BMO Harris Stadium. It looks like BMO. It looks like that small little shitty place.
Yeah, this is the Chiefs' first opportunity since the Super Bowl to kind of work out some of that anger that they undoubtedly had with the loss to the Eagles. This is a team that has gone through a lot of changes, a lot of changes, and to me, I think one of the key things for this one is whether or not the Chargers are able to really have fixed the hole in the offensive line of losing Rashawn Slater.
Yeah.
Because that is to me how you have to stop the Chargers. You have to be able to put pressure on Herbert to make those off balance throws and to move him out of the pocket. And yes, he can run, but it also depends on whether or not his receivers are on the same page as him. And this is a Chargers offense that's a little bit in flux. Like you've got Lad McConkey, but behind him, you have rookies. You have Keenan Allen. Yes, like maybe Keenan is going to be a bit of a safety blanket for the upcoming season, like larger than people think. But to me, also, the question is the Chargers secondary. Can it hold up against a Chiefs offense that, while has definitely regressed when it comes to throwing, is absolutely looking like they are angry. And in practices, Mahomes has just been chucking it deep balls over and over and over again. So at least that's what all the rumors and the reports say. I'm taking the Chiefs here, but I could easily see a world where the Chargers upset the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going straight for my heart. I'm choosing the Chargers.
Jim
Harbaugh's undefeated season openers. We have to have it where it's just one time, man. We get a big win. Get the Chargers hype train started before we go 8-8 for the season, boys. Like, let's get hyped. We start off 1-0. We ruin the beautiful segments of talking about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift getting engaged. Free on YouTube. The Chargers winning the YouTube Brazilian game. La Brazil play Danza Kuduro afterwards, man. Oh man, Fast Five. This is Brazil. I do think the Chargers have a chance actually to beat the Chiefs just because I have a little bit more faith in our defense to stop the deep ball. I think Dante Jackson is a very underrated corner, so I like him as my CB2. I do expect one deep ball to get thrown on us. I do expect Xavier Worthy to have one deep touchdown, probably early in the game, but then once we adjust, it'll be a lot better. I'm interested to see how our pass rush does against Mahomes this game. That's going to be something to watch as well. Do have the Chargers figured out something like can they imitate what the Eagles kind of did, where they took away the RPO plays because of the pass rush, and they were able to beat they were able to beat the Chiefs. So I think the Chargers do have a good chance to win the game. And plus, I like Jim Harbaugh's stretch of winning NFL season openers. I think that goes with him having months and months to prepare. It's like Nick Saban and in a college bowl game. It's like, hey, you're not going to beat Nick Saban, bro, because like he has months and months to prepare, get the team right. They know what's going to happen. He's only lost like two bowl games that aren't called the national title games. So it's like this guy knows what he's doing. So I just feel Jim Harbaugh, he has something. He's ready for the Chiefs, and I could see it where the Chargers win, and everyone, and this is where our hype train goes up. Everyone's all hyped up. But like I could see it too. This is like where Herbert, like he throws for like 3 touchdowns, has like a nice stat line. It was like, Herbert, is he back in the top 5? And it's just like the talking point the whole time, and then slowly the Chargers get back to normal. But this will be the high for the season. We win. Oh, the Eagles won last year in Brazil. They won the Super Bowl. Can the Chargers, is this the team this year and stuff? Like, I could just see it where we flip over the heads, and the Chiefs, they still look a little mortal. Like, we realize, like, Andy Reid realized, I have to change something here.
These first 6 weeks are important for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because they have to get wins coming out of these 6 games where Rashee Rice is suspended. Now, this may be an argument where it's like, well, they were winning games last year without Rashee Rice when he got hurt. But at the same time, they're different. That point differential was so ridiculous that unless you are counting on the Chiefs getting super lucky every single week, which, to be fair, they could. They do have the old devil magic thing going for them. But unless you are really relying on that as an offensive strategy, you got to get wins, and that's going to be important for the Chiefs in this one. But let's turn from we went from an NFC Super Bowl contender, Super Bowl player, to an AFC Super Bowl player. Let's go to an NFC contender. Was in the NFC Championship game, the Commanders hosting the New York Giants. This is a different Giants team than last year. They no longer have any quarterback on the roster that was on the roster last year with cutting Tommy DeVito. They now have Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Jackson Dart. And yeah, you've added Cam Scatterbo, but more importantly than anybody else you've added was Abdul Carter. And this Giants defense is actually looking pretty stout. The question is, can they, I don't want to say fix the mistakes of last year from the perspective of playing the Commanders, but can they go against the tendency of every single team when playing the Commanders, which is you try to flush him out of the pocket, but when you try to come up to make the tackle, you forget to have play the cover guys. And this is a situation where, yes, the Giants have a really strong defensive line. They had, especially with Abdul Carter, but I don't know if I trust that secondary. And now, if this was a Commanders team that still didn't have Terry McLaurin, I would more likely I could believe a situation where the Giants pick up a win. But when they do have Terry McLaurin and they do have the ability to move the ball, I don't know. The question, what I'm interested most to see about this game, really outside of Abdul Carter, is Ja'Cory Cross-Get-Moret. Because you created enough faith and confidence that this team was willing to trade Brian Robinson Jr. to the Niners. And they're basically like, we don't know if he's going to 100% be the bell cow back, but I can't imagine Austin Eckler is going to be doing that much running. He's going to be much more of a pass catching back. I don't think Chris Rodriguez was the reason why they were comfortable with letting Brian Robinson go, because they could have done that a year ago. I don't know how much more experience that running back got to the point that they were able to move off of Robinson. That is going to be interesting. But if Abdul Carter is able to help stop the run, Giants do have a shot at winning this game. But at the end of the day, it is the alleged offensive rookie of the year in Jaden Daniels. So I'm going to take the Giants on this one.
Oh, you're going to have the Giants with the upset. Interesting. If the Giants can score touchdowns, yeah, they could definitely upset the Commanders.
I think that there's been a little bit of enough tape now on Daniels that somebody can come. Like, if you can generate that pass rush, I think you can take them down.
Yeah, I'm actually also going with the Giants because I just don't know if the Commanders will have the running game to complement with Jaden Daniels' skill set to actually help him out. I think that's going to be something that as they work in the season, it'll be a lot better for them. But I think a lot of people are kind of sleeping on the fact that he does not have like a true running back one right now with him. Like no one's really respecting Jacory Krosky-Moret. Viking, not the Vikings. Giants offense is going to be moving a lot better this year, I think, too. Even with Russ or Dart, whoever's going to be, I think it's going to be a much more fluid offense that you're going to see as well. I think they'll be able to control the ball and they'll actually score touchdowns instead of settling for field goals. And I think they'll find a way where it's like, it's the vintage sophomore quarterback, super hyped up. Everyone's excited for him. But then he has like a stinker game. He has that one game where you're just like, oh, man, like he didn't look so good in that game. So I just feel like that is something as well where I could just see the Giants like being able to pull off this quote unquote upset over the Commanders,
Yeah, it is one of those situations where like with the Giants, you have like yes, your offensive line is still terrible, but
Yeah.
you have enough pass catching talent now with Neighbors, Tracy, and Scatabo that you can get the ball out quickly if you want to.
Yeah.
People forget that, or people may have forgotten that most of Malik Neighbors' catches were coming in short yardage situations. They were slants. He was going downfield, cutting in, getting the ball quick. If that continues to happen, and you also have the threat of Tracy and now Scatabo, this isn't the Giants of last year where they were really trying to work things through Devin Singletary. They really have turned the keys over to Tyrone Tracy, and Russ has to be better than Daniel Jones. Like that, that has to be the baseline. But let's turn towards the Jaguars and the Panthers. Jaguars hosting the Panthers here. This is the Jaguars team that has added Travis Hunter. Whether or not he's going to be playing 100% of the snaps remains to be seen. I'm sure he believes he can. I'm sure there's many people that believe he can. I'm also sure that the coaches don't want him to do that.
Yeah, he started out on the depth chart, starting wide receiver, backup cornerback.
There you go. And that's really all you need to know, because this is a situation where the Jaguars need to have offensive firepower. They did not do that much to address their running back situation. They lost Evan Ingram, but Brenton Strange did a very good job for filling in with Evan Ingram's shoes when he was out last year. This is a team that needs to be able to move the ball through the air. Otherwise, I don't see a world where the Jaguars can pull off the win. I do like the fact that this line is so close, though, because the Jaguars' defense has a lot of question marks still surrounding it. But on the Panthers side of things, we're going to be able to see Tetairoa McMillan for the first time in NFL game speed, getting NFL reps, and that's fascinating to me. And I saw a quote today from Brian Canales where he was talking about how he wants to have a Joe Burrow-like development and progression from Bryce, and that's what they've been targeting. And Canales, he has the experience, so we'll see how that one works out. But we saw what Joe Burrow looked like the first year. Granted, the ACL injury happened, but then we also saw what happened once Joe Burrow got Jamar Chase. And that's not to say Tech McMillan is Jamar Chase, but you pointed out they played in high school, right?
No,
so
he played with Noah Fafita, who's at Arizona, but he's only played with quarterbacks like that are the size of Bryce Young. He's never played. He's not used. He's never played with like a 6'4" gunslinger quarterback. It's always been like these 5'10" and under mobile mobile guys, and that's what Bryce is.
I'm giving the edge to the Jaguars only because they actually have more than just Tet McMillan. Yeah. And this is a situation where if Tet gets properly covered by professional defensive backs, I don't know how else the Panthers move the ball, particularly because you traded away Adam Thielen. Like, how much can Chuba Hubbard do by himself? But how do you feel about this one?
Yeah, I think the Jaguars just have more firepower, more talent just in general than the Panthers. They should win this game. If they don't, it's just like,
yeah,
then there's some concerns about this team. And I know it's like, it's week 1. It's like, no, like you guys should beat the Panthers. Like this isn't like, oh my God, like No, you guys are a much better team. You have a
At home,
slight at home, slightly better quarterback, way better weapons. Defensively, you have like a legit edge rusher. The Panthers don't even have that. Like they're still trying to figure out that situation. Like the only thing the Panthers have is a top corner, a great defensive tackle, a young prospect wide receiver. That's it. Like Bryce Young, I love as a quarterback, but he's nowhere on the level of Trevor Lawrence and stuff. So it's just that's just something where it's like, look, you guys have to like win this game. You cannot be losing to the Carolina Panthers. Like win this game, get good momentum, start building up some hype, start building up some confidence in this team. Yeah, so but
it's
both these coaches are very familiar with each other. Both were in the Tampa Bay office, so very familiar with each other.
it is also a situation where, like, if you are the Panthers, if you not and I know he was rising up the ranks in dynasty rankings and things like that, but it really sucked having to put Jalen Coker on
Mm-hmm.
IR like a couple days before this game is going to be played, or about a week or so by the time the game's being played. This is I mean, like, you need people. The fact that they then traded Thielen.
No, they traded Thielen first, and then Coker got put on IR.
But they had to have known, is what I'm saying. Like, they had to have known that this was a situation where Coker was going to be missing games, and like you,
I don't think they knew. I think they thought Coker was fine, and then later on something
I don't
happened.
know.
That I mean, the receivers get banged up from the most random injuries.
That's true. That's true. Well, let's turn to this one. This one's interesting just on its face because you have a quarterback that used to play for one of the teams playing against a quarterback that used to play for the other team.
Yeah, both
when the
starters.
yeah, when the Steelers come to play the Jets, man, this is a we have talked. You and I have talked multiple times now about what the Jets are going to look like this year, and people are, I believe that Garrett Wilson is going to do well. I also believe that Garrett Wilson is wide receiver one for this team and wide receiver two. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really like. I don't trust Alan Lazard to be able to catch passes from Justin Fields. I at least trust Garrett Wilson because of the history there. This is going to be a run team, a run first team. And when you're a run first team going up against one of the best run defenses in the league, I am really kind of surprised at how close this line is. I'm wondering how much Vegas is putting on the idea of Aaron Rodgers not being Aaron Rodgers anymore. Which, granted, he's not Aaron Rodgers anymore, but he is still a competent quarterback. And whether or not this is a situation where they're thinking, hey, there hasn't been enough time yet for DK Metcalf to gel with Rodgers, and Sauce Gardner could potentially lock him up, get a pit. Like, maybe that's what it is, and maybe they're saying, oh, the defensive players, not Aaron Glenn, but the defensive players know how to play against Rodgers. But I'm taking the Steelers on this one.
Call me crazy, but I like home teams winning week one. Jets, Jets. I think the Jets, they're gonna. It happens every year with Justin Fields. Early in the season, teams just sleep on his ability to sometimes throw the football, but the way that he opens up running lanes for his running backs, that's one of the things that Justin Fields does really, really well. And I think that Aaron Glenn realizes this. And Aaron Glenn's coming out here. He's going to treat this like it's Dan Campbell's team. He's going to do the two running back thing with Allen and Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, they may not get the yards that they want, but they're going to keep running the ball and they're going to control it. And I honestly, I just don't believe in this Pittsburgh offense. Like I
That's
feel
what
this is going to be an ugly game, but I just feel this Pittsburgh, and especially too the Jets defense, they played against Rodgers throwing the ball. They know where it's like, hey, here's the difference between the Steelers defense practice against Justin Fields and stuff. They can't hit Justin Fields in practice. They can't act like they know what they're going to do when he's running an option play and stuff. They have to let him run by. They have to
But
put that in their.
can't we make the same argument about the Steelers defense and Justin Fields?
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't hit him though while he's doing the options and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like it's one of those things they have to like mentally think about this, but they always have to pull up and stuff. Your muscles going to remember that you have to pull up against this guy, and you're going to be all like, "Oh shit." And he's fast. He's fast, dude. Like, I just think Justin Fields, it's going to be one of those vintage Justin Fields game. He is just going to be all like, you know what? Let me just like do my option shit. I'll have one deep ball that hits. Everyone's going to be all hyped up that Justin Fields did this. But I just think the Steelers defense are going to be like, we know what kind of balls Rodgers fucking throws. We like, but the Jets defense are like, we know what balls he's going to throw. Like, fuck, this guy's not as nice as he thinks. And I just think with like the lack of certain weapons that's the thing. And also the Steelers too don't have that dominant running back yet. Caleb Johnson got announced as the third running back. Jalen Warren is going to be their starting tailback, so we'll see how he handles being a heavy workload person. So give me the Jets. Give me the Jets, Jets, and it'll be Justin Fields mania. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Fields, see, I see," and then by week 4, it'll wear off. Teams will be like, "Okay, they just do this shit all the time." Because that's the thing with Justin Fields. When you first play against him, it's hard because you're just like, we don't know what they're doing with him. And then once you see like the certain motions and you see certain things, you're like, oh yeah, this is where the option is going to happen. Then it slows it down because Fields as a passer is just so limited. Yeah. 38.5 easy under, yeah.
Oh,
what if the Jets just explode? Breece Hall, Justin Fields, Braylon Allen, three-headed monster.
Well, then Garrett Wilson's gonna be getting upset because of not getting passes thrown his way. If it's Fields, Breece Hall, and Braylon Allen, man. But I do wonder if this is going to be like one of those very ugly game. Like, you remember I mean, I don't know if you necessarily watched the whole thing. I know I did. I know Romeo did. But remember that 10-9 Broncos Jets game from last year? Now, granted, that was like in a bit of a monsoon, but like it feels like it could be that kind of ugly game.
This reminds me, it could be like remember Bears and who the fuck did they play? Justin Fields was mostly running that. He did a slip and slide afterwards when he scored and stuff.
Niners.
Yeah, Niners, yeah, and the Bears got the upset. Yeah, it could be like one of those games.
But let's turn to a game that hopefully shouldn't be that, because you've got a rising quarterback on one side. You have a veteran quarterback on the other side. But that other side that has that veteran quarterback, it's also got generational talent, allegedly, at running back. We shall see. And a guy that looks like he is a generational talent at tight end. And that's the Raiders going flying across the country to take on the New England Patriots. Am I crazy with the way this line is looking? Like, why are the Raiders considered the underdog here?
Yeah, it's because it's Foxborough, bro. They said remember too, week 1 last year, the Bengals came into Foxborough and got shellacked by the Patriots. They lost to Gerard Mayo's Patriots. This is Mike Vrabel. This is a guy that has been more consistent than Pete Carroll in recent years. Yeah, I know Pete Carroll has won the Super Bowl, but don't matter. Vrabel's in town. The Pats, they're back. I just think it's because it's Foxborough. They still hold respect to that arena. Plus, they consider the Raiders having to travel for that far distance. Might be a little tired, might be a little gassed.
You're just taking the over on Christian Gonzalez picks on Geno Smith, aren't you?
Yeah, sure.
It's just it on paper, this doesn't make sense. Like, if you've got Brock Bowers and you've got Ashton Genty and you've got Jacoby Myers,
but do they got Mike Vrabel?
But do they have Mike Vrabel?
Yeah.
Well, Mike Vrabel doesn't suit up anymore. You know what I mean?
But do they have him as a coach? Do they have the goatee, the nice look? Do they have the Patriot way? Do they have Foxborough? Do they have the bell? They don't have any of this. It's Foxborough, baby.
So you're taking the Patriots?
Oh yeah, like I could see this. I could see this being a vintage Raiders Patriots game. It's just random, but I just see the Patriots like, if they're ever like the home opener, if they get a home opener like week 1, I'm always going to choose them just because I do believe in Foxborough. That fan base, they're rabid, they're loud. It's a hard place to play, like especially for kickers and stuff. Like and plus we still got to see what Pete Carroll has cooking. I still think the Raiders are going to be a sleeper team this year, but I do think the Patriots are a little bit better overall than the Raiders.
Well, I'm taking the Raiders on this one. I can't, and maybe I'm just completely off base. I cannot see a roster with a quarterback that likes to throw, a tight end that can make jumping, leaping catches like Brock Bowers, and a punishing, bruising back like Ashton Genty not score points. Like this Patriots defense is going to be good, and from the sense of it's better than last year, and they are going to have complementary football. But I need to know whether or not Stephon Diggs is really back because the rest of that wide receiver room doesn't really scare me that much. And I've heard a lot this offseason about Efton Chisholm and how he's the new Wes Welker and the new Julian Edelman. But it's another situation of you got to show me first. And I'm willing to believe that the Raiders, because of the familiarity that Carroll has with Geno and just his overall ability as to coach up a team, I'm going to take the Raiders on that one. This one, this next one.
Who fucking knows, bro? Like this should be one of the closer lines. I don't understand why this.
Yeah, that's what kind of surprises me about it. I don't know why the Cardinals are this heavy favorites.
Like I get it, the Saints don't have a quarterback, but they're still playing home. Like people forget too. This is like the anniversary of Katrina. Like people are gonna have this like weird emotion to them and stuff. It's like one of those things where it's like, bro, the Saints are gonna come out. They're gonna play. They're gonna play well, man. They're gonna play well this game. Like I don't know. Like plus as a Cardinals, like what we just gotta give up on them. John, just put me down for the Saints. I don't care. I can't.
Taking the Saints.
Here's the thing. I can't trust the Cardinals on the road. Like they're the one team where it's like on the road. I can't trust them. Like you talk about ugly games. This might have the worst score of all week one. Like that's I'm being dead serious. Like this when you look at this, you're gonna look at the score and you're gonna be like, Jesus Christ, 9-8. Like the fuck is this? Like. You're going to be so confused by this score. It's going to be one of these ugly ass games. Like the Cardinals.
Wait, hold on. I got to ask though, when you're saying the 8, are you saying 2 field goals and a safety or a touchdown and a 2-point conversion?
No, 2 field goals and a safety.
I'm just trying to clarify.
Yeah, that's going to be the Cardinals score because they're just going to get field goals and then they're going to sack Spencer Rattler in the end zone. And then later on the Saints, they're not going to score any touchdowns. You're just going to sit there as Alvin Kamara has like 82 yards and then 36 yards receiving and 0 touchdowns. You're like, what the fuck's going on here? Olave's in the medical tent already. Like they're just getting, they just have that.
Come on.
You're just sitting there like, the fuck am I watching this? Why is this game on? What? Like you'll when Scott Hansen goes for the red zone highlights, you're gonna be like, this game's on. Like what? Saints and Cardinals? Like I'm just being dead honest, man. Like I just don't see the Cardinals winning this game. Like it's just one of those games where it's just like. I get it. They improve. They have more talent than the Saints too, which is crazy. But it's just like one of those things where I'm like, bro, like I just can't believe in it. I can't buy into the Arizona Cardinals. They have to show me something. They have to go on a streak. Like them on the road in New Orleans. Oh my god, no, can't. Yeah, and take the Saints while Olave's healthy. I mean, he'll probably go down by like play number 12, but he'll be there for a little bit. Get the medical tent ready.
And meanwhile, we turn to AFC North versus AFC North. The Browns hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, famously, the Bengals start a little slow.
Yeah.
And it is week 1. So by law or by rule, they should start slow. But this is also a Bengals team that knows they cannot afford to start slow anymore. They have to go balls to the wall pretty much the entire season. Otherwise, they're going to miss out on the playoffs again. And I don't know if this is a fun time for the Browns trying to figure out who's going to be – like, I mean, I know it's going to be Flacco for week 1, but I'm saying in general, figuring out who's going to be the quarterback. Is it going to be Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders? We remains to be seen. But – this is a weirdly fun matchup to watch because you got to imagine that Greg Ward and Devin Newsom are – did I say that right? Denzel Ward and Greg Newsom are pretty much chomping at the bit to try to get after Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Can they pull it off? Well, if they do, the Bengals still got Chase Brown. I'm wondering how much your boy Myles Garrett factors into this one. I'm going to let you pick this one first. Because if I remember right, you got Bengals in the Super Bowl.
I do. But I can't have them winning this game. It's in the dog pound. The dogs will be barking. The underdogs. Hoo, 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 hoo. I like week one. I like home teams. A lot of times, I will mostly choose the home team week one. I can't choose too many away teams. It's just the start of the season is always important for NFL teams and stuff. This is where and the Bengals just start too slow. It's strength versus strength. It's the Bengals offense versus Cleveland Browns defense. And then it's weakness versus weakness. It's going to be the Browns offense versus the Bengals defense. It's like, which one will break first? I saw that Cincinnati defense break way too many more times. And I do trust, even if Joe Flacco does go down, Shador Sanders with the watch on his wrist, I think he can come in and he will play well enough. I honestly think the Browns are just one of these teams. And like Davion said, both these coaches are on the Zach Taylor is more of a quiet hot seat. It's more of a respectfully, we can't really say you're on the hot seat. Kevin Stefanski, the fact he lasted last year is a miracle for his standards, because I like Stefanski. I don't think he's a bad head coach at all. I just think that this organization just hasn't done well under Kevin Stefanski, and they're wasting what is a good head coach. But like I said, if Stefanski ever gets fired, he'll make one hell of an OC, and he'll definitely be an OC for a Super Bowl winning team if he ever gets fired. Maybe Zach Taylor too. But Browns, I think they could actually upset the Bengals, ? Is it really an upset because the Bengals always start slow? I think the Bengals, this is one of those where it's just we'll be watching Red Zone and it's like Scott, it's and oh my God, disaster in Cincy. Burrow just got sacks picked up. That's the rookie Mason Graham with the fumble recovery and stuff. So I could see it something like that. I just think that this Browns defense, it will do enough to slow down this high-powered Cincinnati offense. And then I think this Bengals defense will give up enough to make the Browns offense look competent.
It is one of those situations where you feel like Joe Flacco can sneak a deep shot to Jerry Jeudy, and then all of a sudden Judy's off to the races.
Yeah, you just see
a nice 30, 35 yarder, and then Judy's how did he get to the end zone?
Yeah, you just watch the highlights and you're just like, what? This happened? You're just watching the game. You're watching they had no choice. There's no other games on, so they're showing us the Jaguars and Panthers, and they're like, hold on real quick, this just happened in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow sticks one to Jerry Jeudy, and Jeudy picks up the defender, and he's all the way. He's to the crib. Oh my God, Cincinnati up by Cleveland up by 2 over Cincinnati. This is crazy right now.
Man, that sucks. That's gonna suck for the Bengals if that happens.
Yeah. I mean, I want them to win this game, but it's just it's just their history. It's a trend. I chose the Chargers based off Jim Harbaugh's trend. I chose the Giants because of the sophomore quarterback trend, where especially the rookie of the year and division rival game. I was like, you know what? I believe that the Giants could come into Washington. And I do believe home opening games are important. These week one home opening games, there's only a few away teams I'm going to choose, and yes, I should be choosing the Cardinals and the Bengals because they're considered the favorites. But this is week one. All these teams, they have all this hope, this ambition. It's just the first week, and teams are going to play sloppy. A lot of players aren't ready. I think the Browns, though, they'll be ready for the Bengals, and I think they want to get a leg up in the AFC North. They want to lead the AFC North after week one. They'll say, we're first place in the AFC North after week one, because remember, the Steelers and the Ravens win. They didn't play no AFC North teams, so technically the Browns would be first place.
That's true.
That would be their Super Bowl. They'll take a picture of it and be like, hey, leading the conference, leaving the division now.
But we're gonna stay in the AFC. We're just gonna move to different divisions. This isn't an interdivisional matchup. It's the Colts hosting the Miami Dolphins, and ooh, this is this. It's funny because this is like the closest line
Yeah.
outside of Bills Ravens, but it's not because of the reasons Bills Ravens is close. Like this is
They just don't know what. It's honestly, you don't know what Dolphins team you're getting. It's like
right.
if this was a Dolphins team that you're just saying to yourself, "Oh man, like it's going to be the high-powered offense team," they should be the favorites. But because you don't know what you're getting, and especially with the Colts, like the Colts, we don't know what we don't know what it's going to look like watching them play football. We're just here. We're just Shane Steichen. What do you have for us, buddy? Show us what this new regime of the Colts is going to be like.
For the Dolphins, it's like you're coming into a situation where Devin Achan is questionable. He is expected to play, but I'm not saying he's necessarily going to be on a snap count or something like that. But I would have to imagine that if the Dolphins think that they are going to be a long-term team for the playoffs or just in general about the health of Devin Achan, it's going to be a lot of Ollie Gordon in the mix. And Ollie Gordon, while a promising young running back, does not have the same
Mm-hmm.
just skill set that a Devin Achan has.
Yeah, he doesn't have the speed. The pass catching is not like super elite like
Yeah.
Chance. Like, yeah, he doesn't have that. Like, he has power. He can thump around with
Oh
like
yeah.
he's perfect complement to what an Achan is. Like, he
Mm.
brings a different element because teams are so used to the
He's the
speed.
he's the new Mostert.
Yeah,
He's the new Raheem Mostert. But
except he's not as fast as Mostert.
right.
Mostert's fast.
But this is a Dolphins team that we gotta see. Like you gotta prove it to us. On the flip side, it's a Colts team that has the ability to give lots of opportunities to an opposing defense to get some takeaways because you have a wide receiver group that is, let's say, middle of the road to above average comparatively throughout the league.
Mm-hmm.
You have a arguably top 10, maybe I was going to say arguably top 5, but you have a top 10 for sure running back. The real question mark is going to be Tyler Warren. Because if Tyler Warren is what was promised, and it's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
pressure coming out the gate week 1, then this offense can move the ball, and they can move the ball much more effectively because Daniel Jones can trust that he's got his safety valve, whether it was Daniel Jones or Tony or Anthony Richardson. The question there is going to be which Daniel Jones are we getting? Can this Colts defense, which at this point, unfortunately, is the strength of the team, be enough to stop what on paper should be a high-powered Dolphins offense? I'm going to take the Colts, but I don't feel confident about it whatsoever.
See, this is hard, man, because it's like there's certain things I'm like, man, the Dolphins should win this game. But I feel like Romeo brought up the Dolphins indoor in September and stuff. But like, I don't know, man. It's like I want to choose the Dolphins, but like Colts at home, Jim Irsay, they're gonna do a whole thing for Jim Irsay and stuff. They're gonna have more emotional value to win this game. Like, it's gonna be a very emotionally powered game for the Colts. Like, that's where I'm leaning into why I think the Colts will win is just because of the emotions. Like, I could totally see where the Dolphins just shellac the Colts. Absolutely. But because of my home theory and because I'm all like, there's only like 2 away teams that I have so far.
I just saw this from
Yeah,
Romeo.
I mean, the Colts care about Jim Irsay, Romeo. Like,
Shane
I,
Steichen cares.
yeah, Steichen cares, man. Yeah, I also too like I just think also too like McDaniels, he does this a lot where he overcoaches and then like he will cost the team the game because he's still throwing the football instead of like bleeding the clock out. He's like getting drop passes and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go with the Colts too. I think the Colts like will have a good enough win. I think we will see vintage form of the Dolphins, but I just think there's something in the air in Indianapolis where I'm just like, yeah, I think the Colts they'll win this football game. Whether it's for Jim or something else, there's something in the air. I don't think the Dolphins are done. Like, I want to choose the Dolphins. It's just so hard week 1. Like, week 1's the hardest because like I take home openers like super serious for week 1. I'm like, bro, it's a home opening game. Like, like there's only like two teams that are away teams where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to choose them. But the rest,
Another
most
coach
of them are home.
another coach in the hot seat.
Mike McDaniel. Oh, what
But
did he do?
let's turn to interdivisional NFC South. Buccaneers traveling from Tampa Bay over to Atlanta, take on the Dirty Birds of Atlanta, the Falcons. But this is a new Falcons team led by Michael Penix Jr. And this is a matchup that last year produced two of the best games in the
Yeah.
entire season. By far, two of the best games. Buccaneers, Falcons. They were two games that really went down to the wire. The Falcons came out on top on both of those occasions. And that really played a factor into whether or not the Falcons could make a playoff run by winning the division, upsetting the Buccaneers and taking the division. This is a Buccaneers team that has gone through some changes. Bucky Irving is for sure now locked and loaded as the running back one, but they are one missing wide receiver two and Chris Godwin. He is considered doubtful. They were going to put him, so he was on PUP. They activated him off of PUP. They thought they were going to put him on IR, but they didn't. So now he's just considered doubtful, and it's going to be week to week, in essence, whether or not he plays. However, Jason Light, the general manager, did say he anticipates that he's going to miss a month. Meanwhile, Cade Otton, the starting tight end, he is questionable for the game. Jalen McMillan, the presumed wide receiver 3 or wide receiver 4, depending on how you figured it, Ibuka would slide in, he's on IR. And I think that's why they didn't put Godwin on IR, was because they were like, they have McMillan on IR boomerang. So they're like, we know we're missing McMillan for 4 games. If we put Godwin on IR and he's back in, say, 3 weeks versus 4, well, we still can't play him because he's on IR. But this is going to be a situation where the Buccaneers are figuring things out with a new offensive coordinator. Can Baker Mayfield get the job done with Mike Evans and with Emeka Ibuka and Bucky Irving versus a Falcons team that really tried to figure out the defense during the offseason? And, you know, it is a weird situation because we've talked about this, the idea of Michael Penix Jr. coming in and being everything that Kirk Cousins wasn't. And Kirk Cousins, for all of his great attributes, also had some heavy detractions. Like, no quarterback is perfect. But can Penix really lead this offense? On paper, this is one of the best offenses in the entire league between Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod. Sure, Kyle Pitts is there. Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. They have the offensive firepower. We need to know whether or not they have the quarterback. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers only because, despite the fact that they have changed the OC, I trust Baker Mayfield to try to get the job done versus a relatively, in essence, a rookie quarterback still. But how do you feel about this one? Are you going with your home opener theory?
Yeah, I'm going with the Falcons. I think they'll do enough. I think they'll upset the Buccaneers. Like it's vintage Tampa too, losing to a team that they shouldn't. We're just like, wait, Tampa, what happened? You guys were everyone's darlings and stuff. Like you guys, but I think it's because the Falcons are at home. Penix, it'll be something where they don't have enough tape on Penix yet. Penix loves to push the ball deep. I think that's where you can actually get this Tampa Bay team. It is pushing the ball deep. I see good games from the Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod. I see also maybe Kyle Pitts. Who knows? The elusive unicorn in the world. Kyle Pitts will show up. But I do see a good game from the Falcons. I think the Buccaneers are going to be still a good NFC team. I just think it's week 1, missing a lot of key pieces, especially on the offensive side of the ball. That's where it's going to hurt them a little bit. Defensively, I think they might be a little shell-shocked of how Penix is. Like people forget Penix is a 26-year-old man. He's not like a young 20-year-old sophomore quarterback. Like this is a 26-year-old man playing as a sophomore quarterback with a lot of experience, and they're going to play uber aggressive. And I think the Falcons they're going to play well enough to win this game in Atlanta.
Well, we know where I'm going with the next one, so I'll
Yeah,
let you. I'll let you do the lead off for this one.
yeah. So we have the Denver Broncos after a surprising year under Sean Payton. Rookie Bo Nix came out. Rough start to the beginning of the season, but he found his way, and the Broncos found their way. And not just on offense, but the defense of the Broncos became one of the best defenses in the NFL. Led the league in sacks last year. Pat Surtain, the reigning and defending defensive player of the year, one of the few players that will have the gold shield on his jersey. Did you hear about this stat, King? All the player of the years are going to have the gold shield on their jersey for the season. So like
That's the greatest thing I've heard.
Yeah, Josh Allen, and then later on Saquon Barkley, Pat Surtain, Jared Verse, Jaden Daniels. They'll have like the gold shield to represent them being an award winner last year throughout the whole season.
Bo's gonna rip that shit off Jaden Daniels in a couple weeks.
Yeah, but the Broncos, they had a surprising year. But the Tennessee Titans, what was to like about the Titans last year when it felt like there was a nice little potential? A new head coach, he's coming under the Cincinnati tree, and it's Bryce Callahan. He brought his legendary dad, Brian Callahan, into the offensive line room, the Tennessee Titans, with young quarterback Will Levis. Everyone was smelling a sleeper team, but instead of smelling a sleeper team, they smelt a lot of shit because the Titans stunk. This team absolutely stunk up the joint week in and week out, despite the defense trying their best. Just couldn't put it together on offense. So that what do the Titans do this offseason? Well, they add more older players on offense, but they do add a number 1 overall pick quarterback, Cam Ward from the University of Miami, by way of Washington State, by way of whatever small-ass school he played in, San Antonio, Texas. So will Cam Ward be ready to go against what is one of, if not the best pass rush in the NFL, what is one of the top defenses in the NFL, a top 3 defense in the NFL? Will Cam Ward be ready enough to take on the Denver Broncos? And I'm sorry, Cam Ward, you're going to play your first NFL game in that Denver elevation? Good luck to you, buddy. I think the Broncos smash the Titans. This will be one of the few blowouts that we see this weekend. Now, it could go the way of last year where the Titans were shocking the Bears and then they blew that lead. But they only blew that lead because my dog, Will Levis, was quarterback. That's the only reason why they blew that lead.
I was like, somehow he's got to work Will Levis into this.
I love Will Levis. You guys know this. He in an alternate timeline, he's the greatest quarterback of all time. But the Titans, I just don't think they have enough. I think the Broncos are absolutely going to crush them. Bo Nix, I think, will build off this very nice campaign. And everyone's like, oh, what about you? Said, look, this is not a division rival. It's a conference battle. This is not a team that's looking to figure out how to stop Jaden Daniels twice a year. It's the Titans. They're never going to see Bo Nix that often. This is once they're done playing Bo Nix, unless they finish the same placing, and unless they face the AFC South, there's no reason for the Titans to worry about the Broncos. They ain't honed in. They ain't honed in on Bo Nix like this. I think Bo's going to have a good game. I think the Broncos running game, that's the one thing you want to see from Denver this game. Can that running game show up against a very stout Titans defense? I'm not going to say the Titans defense is ass. It's a very stout, very nice, underrated defense. They can get turnovers. Tavondre Sweat, I could see having a big year. They still have big old Jeffrey Simmons down there. They still have some players. It's just, that offense, you're running a bunch of undersized, older wide receivers against big-ass physical Pat Surtain. And then against who was the cornerback you guys drafted again? Jahdae Barron. You have all these people, and it's like you're running out old man Tyler Lockett, who we realized was a virgin until he got married, and then Calvin Ridley, who's
wait, is that serious? Is that real?
Yeah, he said that he didn't have sex until marriage.
Dang.
Yeah, so he was a legit virgin and stuff. Shout out to you. And stuff, and he was in the locker room with Golden Tate and all these weirdos. Surprise! Yeah, and then also too, Calvin Ridley. He's probably looking at his unders and saying, who can make a slide sports bet for me as I get covered by Pat Surtain? I mean, I'm just saying, like, just Titans offense. It's just something. I think Cam Ward will have his moment. Like, look, this is when the Titans will have their moments. When the Broncos are done kicking their ass and the Broncos are just playing their typical cover four, don't let anything pass the sticks. And then the offense starts moving. You're like, oh, where was this the whole game? It wasn't there the whole game because the Broncos were actually playing defense. But I think the Broncos defense will kick the Tennessee Titans ass.
So I will say this. I respect NFL offenses enough to go, this line is way too lopsided.
Yeah.
Does not make any sense. I'm guessing that part of this is because there's probably a piss ton of money being dropped on the Broncos because of the Broncos defense. So
also you're playing in Denver. That's very much that's a big advantage week one. Like early weeks when you play Denver, it's literally just because of that altitude change. Teams aren't preparing for it. It's something that they kind of neglect in their team meetings. Like it's stuff like that teams forget about. Like they're not practicing for it. Like and also too the stamina and conditioning. You're like really. I always tell fans this, especially when they're watching football. Not until week 4 where you actually see these players actually condition for the full NFL season, like be in football shape. Like they should be in football shape, but that's not the case. It's different when you're doing practices and all this other stuff. Like sometimes coaches are being lax on the conditioning and stuff like that. That's why week 4 you kind of see like the teams that are well conditioned, and that's when the teams are much better when they do play Denver. But week 1, I've seen some of the Titans practices. These motherfuckers don't run. They don't do shit. Like
so I botched earlier. I was confusing Canales and Bryce with Callahan and Ward because it's Callahan who is saying that he aims to recreate Joe Burrow's development in prove-it mode with rookie quarterback Cam Ward. So he had a press conference on a Monday ahead of week 1.
He's going to have Cam Ward tear his ACL too? Like, hey, buddy, it's all right.
He's saying we're in prove-it mode. We've got to prove it. We're going to find out. And he's saying he draws comparisons. Says the biggest key for a young quarterback is the particular process of learning, of just going through the reps, getting the motions, getting a volume perspective, something that's manageable. When he feels confident, we have enough ammunition, for lack of a better term, but still have a grasp of it all and be able to execute when he needs to. So that's the biggest key for a young quarterback, is that particular process, whether it was Joe in 2020 or Cam here to open the season in 25. I think that process remained pretty similar. And then I appreciate the fact that whoever wrote this article, it's Kevin Patra, he then listed what Joe Burrow did in his pro debut, which was 193 yards and an interception and a 16-13 loss to the Chargers. But then he rattled off 3 straight 300-yard passes.
You know what's funny? Joe Burrow has never beaten us in the regular season. No, it's true. He hasn't beaten us in the regular season. When he has played the Chargers, he lost it. He lost it to Rod Taylor, which is pretty embarrassing. Then the Chargers did what they do best. We got a huge lead and then almost choked it to the Bengals, but then held on. And then the Chargers, Sunday Night Football, I was there at the game, lost my voice, almost lost my heart too. But that was one of the best games. J.K. Dobbins. Oh, by the way, starting running back for the Broncos right now. Congrats to him. For how much longer? Who knows?
Honestly, yeah, that's what I was about to say. The question for me for the Broncos, and this is beyond just this one game, is going to be the health of the team. Because Denver has gotten really lucky last year to not get hit too badly with the injury bug. Like they got hit pretty badly when it came to losing Alex because he's just that tackling machine. Mm-hmm. But they added players who have injury histories in Dre Greenlaw, Hufanga, and J.K. Dobbins. Now, the upside of those guys is tremendous. And if they are able to stay healthy, it's probably the second or third best defense in the league. I would probably say the Ravens or the Eagles are really up there. But this is a defense that will be absolutely nasty. I'm taking the Broncos, but there's a I mean, I'm doing it because I'm a fan of them, not necessarily because like it's pure belief. I do believe they will win the game. There's enough going for them. It's just that this line just does not make any sense to me. Like if this was that Saints and Cardinals line of 235, 290, I'd be like, no, yeah, I get it. But this is like the Titans are going to do something. Like, is this just the level of hype that the Broncos defense is so high? And my thing is, if the hype is that high, can anybody live up to that hype? We will see. But that line is just, I don't know, it's crazy to me. The fact that that's like, because like, look, if you think about it, 420, 330, the next closest thing to them is Eagles Cowboys. Like, and the Cowboys are a pretty damn good offense. Like their running situation is going to be the question, but like they have a very good passing offense.
I just think they look at rookie quarterback going a mile high. It's just one of those scenes where it's not a good combination. Like it's just not. It's just one of those combinations where it's just like I know Calvin Ridley. He's probably like, yeah, I got Broncos money line.
Romeo, I believe in the Broncos. What I'm saying is that the line
they're minus 420 though.
Yeah, like it's the minus 420.
No, minus 420. You know.
All right.
Yeah. I got you, Drax the Destroyer. I got you with the jokes. Nothing goes over my head. Nothing. My reflexes are too fast. I'll catch it.
Dave Bautista, greatest wrestler turned actor. Yes.
Not until Smashing Machine, my friend. Oh my god, no, bro. I saw early screening. Holy shit, dude!
Oh yeah. Did you cry? Did you cry? Real tears?
Like it was emotional. It was emotional, but I will say that I didn't expect The Rock to be in his bag like this. Like I was expecting like he was in his bag this movie. Like this was a very. I was just. Have you seen Snitch by The Rock or Sitch, whatever the fuck that movie was called? He was like a truck driver. He had to like.
Yeah. That was a pretty old one now.
Yeah, like I was expecting that for Serious Rock. This one, holy shit! It's a tremendous. I don't think it's like my movie of the year, but in terms of like, will The Rock get consideration for this movie? I hope he does because he absolutely killed it. Like,
movie of the year is Lilo and Stitch until Wake Up Dead Man comes out.
Oh, Lilo, the fuck we talking about, bro? What?
That's my favorite Disney movie of all time.
Is it?
Yeah, the live action was amazing.
Yeah, I'm sick of Lilo and Stitch.
He saved cinema. He saved cinema by himself, single-handedly.
I guess.
I mean, look at the box office.
I mean, Sinners is movie of the year, but I guess Lilo and Stitch is.
I mean, but look at the box office. He saved.
Yeah, I know. I know the box office, but I'm just saying.
Stitch beat Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible. He beat Tom Cruise. He beat all the Marvel movies. He beat all the DC movies.
Everyone's sick of those movies, and it's a kids' movie. I hope it beats.
The man is the GOAT. It's the only movie. It's the only movie to cross $1 billion from the West.
Yeah, now they're forced to make a sequel. What are they going to do? Are they going to do like the TV show where they have to catch all of Jumba's other little mutants, aliens?
Bro, if I get Ruben, I'll be happy.
Yeah, he was my favorite character. 625. 625 was my favorite character. He was just always making sandwiches.
What's your special power? I'm really good at making sandwiches, buddy.
He's Stitch, but he knows how to make sandwiches. Like that's the best part, where he's like he can literally do everything that Stitch can, but he's more focused on making good ass sandwiches. It doesn't matter.
Priorities, goals in life.
Yeah, right? You know what? Did you ever watch Leroy and Stitch?
Yeah.
I hated that one because it made 627 look like a jobber, and then 627 didn't come out until like the end of the movie, and he gets his ass kicked. I'm like, yo, 627 was supposed to be like Leroy. I don't know. I thought it was a lazy movie, but yeah, no, Lilo Stitch was good. I mean, the cartoon version I like. I like the cartoons versions better.
No, for sure, the cartoon was better than the live action. I'm not saying it was
like the live action. I just hate how what's Lilo's sister's name again? Nani or whatever. Nani. Yeah, I hate how she's such a bitch in this movie. Like she's just like, it's like our family left us. Like she's the one that is all about Ohana and shit. And then she just goes like, there is no Ohana. I'm like, what the fuck is this and stuff? But yeah, it was cute. Yeah,
Dark Night of the Soul.
You know Bro, I should probably maybe I'll find some Stitch stuff on Kohl's and I'll send you something and stuff. Like
I already
he's
have a lot of Stitch stuff. You'd be
dude
surprised.
he's mad. Like, you know what's crazy? Like, I knew Stitch could get popular, but bro, he's been mad popular even before the new movie came out. Like, we always get like a bunch of Stitch stuff. Like, when I say a bunch of Stitch stuff, like I'm talking about like blankets and
That's why he's the
like
goat.
plushies. We get like,
Merch mover, needle
yeah.
mover. That's why he's the goat.
I mean, he's kind of like the, yeah, he's Big Money Mox. He's the John Moxley of the Disney characters, I guess.
No. At this point, with the way their other movies are going, he's the Roman Reigns.
No, the Roman Reigns is Winnie the Pooh, dog.
They don't make money off of Winnie the Pooh anymore.
Oh no, they
No, I
do.
mean they make money, but I'm saying like they're not releasing movies for obvious reasons. They're not generating the money.
Yeah. Huh.
But let's talk
no,
about.
they don't have the license to it anymore. That's why we got Pooh, Blood, and Honey. Did you see that?
But let's talk
Pooh.
about.
Oh, let's talk about
Let's
the Pooniverse real quick.
let's talk about.
This is way more entertaining than Seahawks and Niners. Get the
Let's
fuck
talk
out of
about
here.
the tribal chief of anytime touchdowns, Christian McCaffrey.
He's back.
He's back.
He's back.
He's back. And the Niners are traveling to face an NFC West rival in the Seahawks. This is going to be the first appearance of Sam Darnold as a Seahawk, the first appearance of Cooper Kupp as a Seahawk, the first time Jackson Smith and Jigba is being asked to be the dominant target getter in an offense. There's no more Noah Fant. It's AJ Barner now as the starting tight end. Well, maybe we see a little Elijah Arroyo here and there. But this is a offense that has changed. The one thing that really hasn't, the running back room. Kenneth Walker, at least he's not hurt for right now. And so it's going to be him and Zach Charbonnet leading that backfield. But they're going up against a Niners team that has taken some hits on defense. They lost Greenlaw and Hufanga to the Broncos. They lost a few other pieces throughout. But this is a Niners team that also is pretty banged up on offense as well. We don't have Juwan Jennings. We don't have Brandon Ayuk. They've got Ricky Pearsall, Kittle, and CMC. But I'm sure an argument can be made that any team with CMC, they've got a damn good fighting chance. I'm going to take the Niners. This is what I know it's going to go against your home opener aspect and the 12-man here. I mean, you could easily talk yourself into that. But I'm going to take the Niners on a get-right game, a feel-good game for them getting CMC back. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, this is one of the only other two teams this is my second to last away team that I'm going to choose to win. I think the Seahawks fans are going to show up. I think the Seahawks will have a good game. I think Sam Darnold will play well. I think Cooper Kupp will play well. I just think that the Niners offensively, they're back. Shanahan's back. The mastermind, he has his first 25 plays written up. It's going to be money for Shanny. We're going to win. And then everyone, as myself, we're just sitting there with Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. And when he wins, they might just put fireworks. They might have fireworks ready for this when Christian McCaffrey scores a touchdown. They'll start playing fireworks.
In the Seahawks stadium?
Yeah, in the Seahawks stadium. And then they'll play that one song. You can tell everybody, and you can tell everybody, and you can tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Like, they're gonna play that for him, and then this is a Fox game too. I could see that too, where it's like, and the Niners and the Seahawks. Oh, Christian McCaffrey is back, and it's like, oh, and then when CMC scores the second touchdown, and my heart, like the Grinch, grows 3 times larger. And then when he scores that third touchdown, I will be happy. My dog is back. He's
so
back, guys.
Nobody's scoring on this team, but Christian.
We're back. It's back. He's back. Everything's back. You guys are overthinking this Brian Robinson nonsense. It's McCaffrey's world. We're just living in it. But no, I just think the Niners, they just are one. I just think the Seahawks are still some things they have to figure out. It's once again a new offensive coordinator. They have to figure out what they're going to be doing with this offense. Will it work out? Will it not? Niners still have solid secondary despite losing Halafunga to the Broncos. Still think they have a solid secondary. They still have Fred Warner. They still have Nick Bosa, Nick Bosa, very sleeper guy to maybe win DPOY. Like he's back. Nick Bosa, he's going to be playing out his mind. He's worried about our president's health. Nick Bosa is just going to be like, I hope Trump's okay, and just bolt down the line and stuff. So yeah, I think
He's playing against a white quarterback.
hmm?
He is playing against a white quarterback.
He's gonna picture Sam. Sam Darnold's a ginger, so he doesn't consider him white. He says he'll have no soul. So
That's
Nick
fair.
Bosa, he's gonna be like, oh, he's gonna be super, super intense this game. But yeah, no, I think that the Niners will pull off the road win over against the Seahawks. I just think the Seahawks. There's still some things that we need to see before I can say where they're at. While with the Niners, I know what's going to happen. I know it's going to be Shanahan with his 25 first plays. I know that defense will slow down Sam Darnold enough. I think they'll do well. I think the Seahawks are not a bad team at all, though. I just think it's just, hey, you're playing a really good team that just had a bad record last year. People are sleeping on the Niners heavy. They don't think the Niners are that good anymore. A lot of teams are not really high on them as they should. But I think that you should be high on the San Francisco 49ers.
And Romeo knows because I just did this earlier tonight. But in fantasy leagues where I'm forced to pick a defense, I am happy to let it punt for a bit and take the Niners with one of those last picks, simply because of that strength of schedule.
Yeah,
simply because of the teams that they're facing, they lost pieces for sure, but they didn't lose enough to the point that I'm like, well, if they have CMC back and can run out the clock, then I believe that this defense is going to be able to force sacks and force pressures. So
isn't Saleh back with them or something?
Yeah.
Saleh's back at defensive coordinator, so it's and they were good with Saleh as the DC. So I'm just saying, man, this team going to be good. This team going to be good.
Well, let's turn from NFC West to NFC North, where the Lions.
Delete Romeo's comment. He is just being a hater of the greatest white running back of all time. That's how the white man runs a football.
Well, we go to NFC North. Oh, actually, hold on. Sidebar, real quick. I just found this out because I was today because I was doing futures bets based off of the list that you and I compiled last week. I did not realize that they passed litigation. Sorry, not litigation. They passed legislation here in Illinois that adds an automatic 50-cent fee for every bet that you place with FanDuel and shit. Now, for somebody else, that isn't that big of a deal. If you bet $10 a pop or whatever. But for me, where I do small bets that build over time and I stack money that way, I'm like, wait a minute. If I'm putting down $3 on a bet, the 50 cent actually means something.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that's pretty atrocious in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm like, I got to rethink this whole thing now. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
You got to make some parlays.
Yeah, I got to make some parlays because I was doing the over unders on the passing yards and rushing touchdowns. And if you guys want to check all that out, we covered our futures last week. But let's turn to NFC North versus NFC North. Lions traveling from Detroit, Michigan, across Lake Michigan to Wisconsin, the Green Bay, Wisconsin, to take on the Packers. The Packers with with Micah Parsons now. I'm have a feeling that's probably what turned this line a little bit between home field advantage for the Packers, Micah Parsons being there. I think that can potentially cover up some of the ugliness of this Packers wide receiver room, because besides Matthew Golden, really, who are the people that are going to be catching Jordan Love's passes outside of maybe Tucker Kraft? We don't really have – we have Jaden Reed who's going to be playing through a Jones fracture, and that's going to heavily hurt him throughout the course of this season. And maybe he'll be good for this game, but that's going to heavily hurt him throughout the season. We have Christian Watson, who's on IR. We have Dontavian Wicks and Romeo Doubs, who between the two of them are a wide receiver too, if that makes sense. It is a weird situation, but the Packers know that with Micah Parsons on defense and Josh Jacobs running the ball, oh boy, they can pull off some wins. I don't know how much I trust the Lions yet. This is a situation where you've lost your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator, both leaving for head coaching positions. We don't know how much of the Lions' success was Ben Johnson offensive styles, whether it was MCDC styles. We can trust that a lot of their skill position players will get yards, like for sure they will. But will this be as dynamic of an offense that we have seen in the past? I'm not 100% certain. So at least for this week, until they prove otherwise, I'm going to take the Packers. How do you feel about this one?
This is my last row team pulling off the upset. I think the Lions defense is going to absolutely surprise people. People are going to be like, whoa, where was this defense? And I was like, it was injured last year. That's where this defense was. It was injured. There might be some woes on offense on the Lions side of the ball. Won't deny there. There might be something missing without good old Ben Johnson. But I do think that the Lions will win this game. I think it'll be a close, contested game. It's going to be one of the most fun games to watch this Sunday. It's definitely the afternoon highlights. I mean, honestly, this is a rant. I literally hate when the NFL does this shit, where there's only one good afternoon game, and then the rest is just a bunch of slop in terms of competitiveness. You know, it's not the teams. It's like, ugh. Like, is Falcons Buccaneer, is that an afternoon game, or is that an early game that's going on? Because I feel like that's an early game.
One second, I'll tell you.
Yeah, because it's an early game. Because it would be Broncos and Titans, Seahawks and Niners, Packers, Lions, Rams, Texans.
I think it is. I think it is an early game. Yep, it's a noon game.
Is Broncos Titans an early game or a late game?
No, that's a late game.
Okay, so see, look at this slop. We have
the afternoon games are Titan Broncos, Lions Packers,
Niners Seahawks, Rams Texans.
Niners Seahawks, Rams Texans. Yep.
Yeah, look at this slop. We just have Packers and Lions. The rest, who knows? Like, what are you really gonna? Like, I know you're going to be watching, but most people are not going to tune into watching Cam Ward throw his third interception. It's Niners Seahawks. He
throws his third interception in that game. You will see me somehow, even though you live in California and I live in Chicago. You will somehow see me jumping.
You can just call me and I'll watch it. Niners Seahawks, like, only for McCaffrey people will be watching. After that, they're going to be like, I'm good. Texans and Rams, that's going to be the least watched game. Even here in LA, somehow, some way, even though we're forced to watch the Rams on Fox, somehow, some way, this will still be the least watched game of the day because no one cares. This is the game. This is the game, the Lions, the Packers. But I do think the Lions have enough. I think they win this football game over the Packers. I think Micah will start off a little slow. Don't think he will be as quick. He hasn't been training, so he hasn't been working out. So
you've seen the videos of him in practice, though.
Yeah.
I'm just asking. Have you seen?
Yeah. And I've seen Aiden Hutchinson also kick people's ass in practice. They have two of the best edge rushers, not named Myles Garrett, are playing against each other. It's great. You know how we have quarterback duels? This is an edge rusher duel. Like, which edge rusher is going to kick the most ass? Like, quarterback duel here is Goff and Love. And yeah, Jordan Love, a lot of people are super high on him. I understand and stuff, but I think the Lions, they will be my last row team. The rest, I have all the home teams winning their respective games for week 1, but I'll explain why. I'll have legit. I was about to say
that's wild considering that one of the away teams. But we'll get to that when we get to Monday.
Sacrifices have to be made. I had to sacrifice something.
Well, let's talk about Texans versus the Rams. The Rams went to the NFL schedule makers and said, listen, guys, I don't know if you know this, but SoFi Stadium's our house. So we are going to be playing a home game week 1. Get these Chargers, send them out of the country. We don't care. Send them somewhere else. But the schedule maker said, all right, but we're going to be sending you the Texans. And so the Rams said, all right, cool. We'll take the Texans. And it's a Texans team that has absolutely been in flux this past offseason. You trade Laramie Tunsil. You don't know, you don't even, like, the GM is non-committal as to whether or not Joe Mixon is going to be playing at all this season. They bring in Nick Chubb to in essence replace that production. But Nick Chubb, there's a reason why you're able to sign him in the first place. You have Dameon Pierce, who you have kind of refused to use in a scheme that fits him since he was drafted, basically since that first year he was drafted. But you do draft Woody Marks. Meanwhile, on the wide receiver side of things, you lose Stephon Diggs, you lose Tank Dell to injury, and you replace them with Christian Kirk and two rookies, both of which are from the same school, so at least they have chemistry working together in Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. I'm very concerned about this Texans offensive line. And you and I both have very high hopes for Nico Collins and his ability to shock some people when it comes to potentially offensive player of the year. I think we had him down as, or I think maybe I had him down as one of the cash out options. But this is a team that really has to get moving quickly, simply because in that division, if the Titans are able to figure things out at least decently, and if the Jaguars with Liam Cohen and Travis Hunter have turned the page, if you were the Texans, you were in a dogfight towards the end of the season last year just to have control of the division, and you got weaker. But you do have a really good defense. But can that defense stop Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams? Stafford's back is an issue here. Like, if somebody took the Texans, I would not be mad at it, just because Stafford was considered questionable for this game. Actually, was considered doubtful for this game, maybe as late as like a week ago or a week and a half ago. And yes, he has been able to practice, and yes, looks like he's going to be starting. But this is a situation where it's like one hit, like he's getting epidurals. He was getting epidurals for his back. That does not instill confidence in me. And you have Will Anderson and Derek Stingley there ready and waiting to take him down. Stingley's like, yeah, don't worry. I got Devontae Adams covered. Will, go get that guy. And Will Anderson's like, yeah, no, I'm going to go get him. I do have concerns about this one. I'm actually surprised that you would want to take the Rams in this one. And I do want to hear why. And I have a feeling it's going to come down to D'Amico Ryans being outcoached by Sean McVay. I have that.
What? McVay is going to be like, I know your defense. I went against this so many times when you're on the Niners. And I kicked your ass then. Going to kick your ass now.
I also was teeing you up for the Sean McVay impression.
Yeah. So. You know, Sean McVay, he ready for this. Got my Campbell chicken noodle soup ready. We got this, man. And I also think this Rams defense is just also really, really good. I think both these teams are kind of equal, like where they're at in their respective conferences. Like, it's a very, very equal matchup between both teams. But I just think the Rams, they just have enough to beat the Texans. They just have enough to win this game. I think the Texans, they'll like come in thinking, oh yeah, it's the Rams. They don't really have much of a home field. And I'm sorry. Normally, other teams do fill up SoFi more than the home teams, but there ain't a lot of Texans fans that exist in this world. So
that takes us to Sunday Night Football. And
oh, Mike, I'm so excited for this, man. After stinking it up Thursday night, we get Lamar and Josh Allen. Mike, how good is this, man?
This is. I don't think there's a game better than this week. I think it's safe to say, right? I think you agree with me on that.
This is the game of the week. Yeah, this is like normally the Sunday night game too. I'm sorry, like they'll normally put on a game where I'm like, bro, really? You're putting on the Cowboys and the fucking Giants? Like it'll be some stupid game that should be on the afternoon slate where I'm just like, why is this game on? And stuff like this is like, wow, like they got this for the Sunday night CBS. Like, you know, Tony Romo was like, I don't know, Jim, did we really give up Josh Allen and the Ravens? Like, what game am I calling? Like, what game is Romo calling? Because I look at that morning say, what's the Jim Nance game? Where's my Tony Romo Jim Nance game on this slate that you're seeing for that's not Sunday night? They don't get Mahomes. Mahomes is playing against the Chargers on Friday. Like, right. Look at this schedule. What game is Jim Nance and freaking Tony Romo calling? Because at least with Brady, there's a lot of arguments. Like he's definitely calling Lions Packers, or he's calling Giants Commanders. Like he has options. Tony Romo and Jim Nance, what are they calling Bengals Browns?
For that early slate?
Or just in general?
Ooh. Well, they would get Buccaneers Falcons as spots.
No, I'm talking about like CBS. Like what CBS?
Oh, CBS. Sorry.
Yeah,
So, yes.
I'm talking about Jim Nance and Tony Romo. What game are they calling? Because they lost.
CBS afternoon. They get Lions Packers.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, they haven't announced what they're going to get. So CBS got Lions and Packers.
CBS got Lions and Packers.
Oh, okay, there we go. That's the game they're calling then.
Yeah, but you this is. I mean, I looked at week 2 and week 3, and this would be the best game out of that bunch.
Do you want to hear the YouTube commentary team? This is going to be terrible.
Oh God.
Rich Eisen and Kurt Warner.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You telling me we couldn't get Al to wake up to watch his Chargers? Like we couldn't get Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit?
That's not a knock against either of those two gentlemen. They're very good at what they do, or in the case of Kurt Warner, what he did. But man, that does not seem like that great of a pairing.
It was horrible when I watched just watch the Bears Jaguars game, and you'll see how dull they were and stuff. Like,
well, listen, they're gonna be fine. They're just gonna cut to Taylor Swift and Brazil.
We just needed Al. I just wanted Al to just be all like, well, Kirk, I did not want to be here with you, but we're here now. And Kirk's like, oh, come on, Al. I just really have to watch Bill Belichick's UNC team stink up the joint, home opener. Happy to be here in Brazil. Going to travel after this back to college game day and then be able to, like, I just want that. Now I have to listen to Rich Eisen tell dad jokes and Kurt Warner, like with the CTE, try to talk about certain things. Like, and Herbert gotta, rip it. Just rip it. Rich? Oh, I know, Kurt. He's just has to rip it out there. But yeah, this is the game. Like Collinsworth is so happy. He's like, oh, this is great, Mike. It's like a playoff game, but we're in the opening week. I mean, how good is our job, Mike?
Now here's a guy.
Josh Allen, MVP, taking on the former MVP Lamar Jackson, who many felt should have won MVP last year. I mean, if it's not him or Lamar or Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow, it should have been one of these guys winning the MVP.
But this is I mean, I know like you gave it away that you're not picking the away team here, but like this is a fun one. Like I don't. I'm taking the Bills because I am something of a Buffalo Bills homer because of how many Buffalo Bills I have on different dynasty teams, aka Josh Allen, Romeo's favorite quarterback, and especially his favorite quarterback in the AFC East. But yeah, this should just be fireworks. Like this is the only one where I'm like, the line makes sense, dead even. Like this is easily a coin flip to me.
I don't want to choose this game. I'm going to say it ends in a tie. We're going to get our first tie of the season, Mike. No, yeah, I think the Bills will win just because I think the Ravens, it's just like, it's until I see Lamar do it, I just need to see him play when he plays another great team. Just play like yourself. Play like Lamar Jackson. Don't be like this hesitant. You're in the pocket. Your steps are weird, and then you're throwing like this weird ball, and it doesn't make sense. I just need to see Lamar Jackson, be Lamar, and then I'll say, you know what? I was wrong. The Bills, maybe they're not there yet, but I think the Bills, they will win this game. It'll be interesting to see how they play. They haven't played well in the preseason, so that's a little bit alarming to some extent about the coaching, but I will say that the Bills should win against the Baltimore Ravens, and yeah, I can't wait for this game, man. It's going to be such.
It's going to be this should be fireworks.
I'm so happy I have Sunday off. Normally I'm working and stuff, but I'm so happy. I you know when the managers go, okay, Chase, can you do me a favor and stuff? I pile my favors up and I cash them in like it's the money in the bank. So
Wow.
I go up to the boss, go, boss lady, ain't working the first Sunday of NFL season. Can tell you that. She said, all right, just put it into the website. I'm like, cashing in a couple of my favors. It took 2 favors to cash in. Don't worry. I still have like 22 more that I can cash in and
Like
stuff.
CM Punk going to Paul Heyman.
Oh, dude, I have so many favors lined up. Whenever I want a day off, I get it.
But that leads us to Monday Night Football. It'll be the Manning cast.
Man.
Be the Manning cast.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got to change it up to Peyton's drawl. But you have the Vikings. Kevin O'Connell coming off that Coach of the Year win.
Uh-huh.
Now with the real true rookie quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, the guy he wanted, the prince that was promised in Minneapolis, travels NFC North, comes on down to Chicago, to play the Bears. But these aren't the Bears of last year, allegedly. These are the new look Bears, the Bears of Ben Johnson, the Bears of Luther Burden, of Roma Dunze, of DJ Moore. They got Keenan Allen out of there. They didn't get a running back, but they did get a tight end in Colston Loveland. This is a team that has gone through quiet changes, but big changes. Like it feels in the sense that there wasn't like a shit ton of personnel overhaul, but like the people in charge got overhauled. So like you imagine it's going to be a lot different, but it's still the guys, like the majority of the same guys. But one thing they did do is really change up this offensive line. And this is going to be a really good test.
Yeah.
Because Brian Flores defenses do not mess around.
They don't.
One thing they don't do is mess around. Will the Bears defense be able to get after J.J. McCarthy? That, I think, is the key. And J.J. McCarthy, like you've got that, you got that guy running down over there, that Justin Jefferson. You get the ball. He's down there somewhere. You got T.J. Hawkinson. You got Aaron Jones. You've got Jordan Mason. You don't have Jordan Addison suspended for 3 games. I think that is going to be – I mean, obviously I'm the Addison guy. But that's, I think, going to be what this game turns on because I don't trust wide receiver 2 and wide receiver 3 for the Vikings right now. You have Jalen Naylor and you have Ty Felton, and I think one of them is banged up. So how exactly this passing offense is going to work, I'm not 100% certain. But I do know that Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason are going to have a lot of work on their plate to try to help keep moving this off the ball down the field. I'm going to take the Bears because I believe that Ben Johnson, I don't know if he's necessarily the full answer, but I think on a game-to-game basis, he can be. What do you think?
Wow. Yeah, I think that the Bears are going to win this game just based off the. I'm sorry, Kevin O'Connor. I love you. You know this.
I was about to say this is. I just want to stay for the record. Sorry to interrupt, but you picked the Browns in Bengals-Browns, and you're going to pick the Bears in Bears-Vikings. Okay. And I just want everyone to remember that your Super Bowl matchup is Bengals-Vikings.
It's week 1. Who cares?
I know. I'm just want to make sure for the record.
I'm a realist. They're not going to have the best record in the Super Bowl. That's it. Let's move on. But KOC, I'm sorry. It's just I got to see something from JJ first. If I see something from JJ, I'm back in. I'm choosing you every week, KOC. I believe that. But I just think it's playing in Chicago. It's going to be a tough game to play. Look, the one guy that did well against those Brian Flores defense was Ben Johnson. And Ben Johnson is now the head coach of the Chicago Bears. I do expect Caleb Williams to have a really good game. This is probably one of the better Monday Night Football season openers I've seen in quite some time, too, where I'm like, wow, this is very interesting. Fox lets you have this game, too? Like, the Fox and CBS, what are you doing? Wake the fuck up. You guys are, like, right? You know what would have been the Monday night game if this wasn't Bears and Vikings? I'm telling you this, and you would say, I could see it. Patriots and Raiders would have been our Monday Night Football game just because of the coaches, because of Vrabel and Pete Carroll, not because of anything else. They'd have been like, Joe Buck would be like, and we're here in Foxborough, and it's a wonderful night. Not so cold, not so hot, as the Patriots kick off the season to take on the Raiders. Pete Carroll, Mike Vrabel, young Drake May. Like that would have been our Monday night game. Like if Fox was just a competent network and protected their games. Like what are we doing? What would have been the Sunday night game though if Ravens and Bills wasn't selected? What could have been? Like honestly,
I think it would have been Chiefs Chargers. I think they would have moved that.
I think
they would have sent somebody else to Brazil.
I think the Sunday night game would have been Browns and Bengals just because of Joe Burrow.
That's fair.
Just because of Burrow, just because of the MVP hype, the offense, how much money. You know, the NBC will be like, we have graphics ready for this, and then just because Cleveland has graphics too, well, Cleveland, and then they'll play like they'll show all the like little puppets of quarterbacks that they drafted. And stuff. You know NBC, they love to have fun. But yeah, Fox and CBS, I need you guys to step it up this year. You can't be losing all your main games. You can't be getting dicked down. Like Fox, you want like I understand that's
how much this is upsetting you.
No, it is. It what happened to the game I love, where these networks would be dicks and make sure they kept their matchups. Like Fox, I understand you couldn't get Eagles Cowboys. This was something that was inevitable. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. You lost out on the Cowboys. CBS. I don't know what the fuck happened, how you lost Chargers and Chiefs to fucking YouTube out of all companies, but whatever. It is what it is. But there's no exceptions. You guys cannot be losing your big games to fucking NBC and ESPN. This is ridiculous. You guys are used to be like, it's just, especially because I know that's how it is. But yeah, no, I'm triggered. This because this Bears Vikings game should be my afternoon palate, my stomach is full, kind of a little tipsy. Everybody in the club get tipsy. And then I'm just watching this game. Instead, coming home from work, annoyed. And then I have to watch this on the new ESPN app that I pay too much money for, that I don't want anymore. But I have to have it because I'm an idiot. The NFL likes to make me spend money. Yeah, but whatever. Oh, yeah, no, but the Bears, I think they'll do well. But yeah, I'm still pissed. I can't believe Fox and CBS are just such bitches in this. Like, what bitches?
So we are kind of in lock. Well, okay, so we're not in lockstep on here.
Yeah, man. You chose the right team, John. Chase decided to choose Chargers like an idiot, man.
4, 5, 6. All right, so we got some interesting opportunities for people to start. You know,
John, you're just missing one thing on this.
Let's do this pick'ems. What?
Where's the Mike Evans 1,000-yard tracker?
That's going to be there. Okay. Don't worry. On a week-to-week basis, that's going to be there.
I'm concerned. We got to track.
You and I are tracking two things for sure. The first is Mike Evans 1,000 yards. The second is, remember, because you're in that dynasty chat. RJ claimed that Rome Odunze would be top 5 receiver end of year. I am tracking that to the T. Because as I pointed out to him, I said, if he's right, well, if he's wrong, I win. And if he's right, Rome Odunze is on the bloodline in that dynasty league that we're all in. So I still win. Either way, I win.
Mm.
I like those odds.
Yeah, Romeo has a good chat. I kind of like this actually. Like if we're doing Survivor, like the Survivor pick'ems, you have to pick one for this week. Who would it be? I think it should be easy. Let's get the Saints out of the way. Like fuck that. Like if we're choosing to win this week, we have.
Romeo. There are multiple leagues where I have Rome Odunze. I don't believe as much in DJ Moore, and my situation there also is that a lot of Caleb Williams' passes last year, granted different offensive schemes, went to Keenan Allen, and they are now having Rome Odunze be that full field stretcher for the whole year. So that's more why the faith of Rome Odunze that I have. He's a great like flex play bye week kind of guy.
Yeah, you see based off matchups and stuff. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah.
But wait, so you guys, if you had to pick one for this week, who would it be?
It has to be the Saints. Get them off your board. You don't have to worry about picking them ever again.
So how does that work?
So it's a survivor pool. So every week you have to choose a game, right? Up until the week 18
And you
and
can't
stuff.
choose that team again.
Yeah, but once
Oh,
you choose that team, you're safe. But if you lose, like let's say if I chose the Jets for the Steelers, but the Jets lose, I'm eliminated from the survivor pool because my team got eliminated and stuff.
gotcha.
But the hard part is you want to try to get the bad teams out of the way
Right.
because you want to make sure that you never have to choose them ever. That's why I say choose the Saints or the Browns. Get rid of them so you don't have to like even think about, oh, I gotta choose them the next week or so and stuff. Just choose the Saints. That's what I would do. Get the Saints out of your survivor pool. You look like a genius. You get rid of the people who stupidly chose Arizona. Or if you want to try to see if people will get super eliminated, you choose the Browns or the Cowboys because like I feel like they're the teams being slept on, and like the Eagles and Bengals, if they lose, that's a lot of teams a lot of people who will drop out of the Survivor League.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go Browns. From that, now that you've explained it, I think I'd go Browns.
Yeah, like I'm choosing Saints because like even though I know because even though the people that chose the Bengals, they're still going to be eliminated if they choose the Bengals. But with the Saints, I don't have to choose the Saints for the rest of the year, and then I know there's a chance Cleveland could win another game down the line. I'm getting rid of the Saints ASAP.
Yeah, I'm looking at Cleveland's schedule after this, and it's
You're not forced to choose. You could choose any team. That's the thing.
no, I know, but I'm saying like but from the perspective of like if you have to keep choosing, you're eventually gonna potentially have to pick the Browns again, or pick the Browns. They at Baltimore, Green Bay Packers, Lions, Vikings, Steelers, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. I mean, I guess you could do at that point pick the Browns to maybe win against the Jets, but that's at Jets. Ravens again, Raiders, Niners, Titans, Bears, Bills, Steelers, Bengals. Like technically speaking, from this argument, like the next time you would feel somewhat safe picking the Browns would be the next time they play the Bengals. But at that point, Burrow's probably either playing for a playoff spot or playing to secure the division. Like
maybe just watch, John. Shador leads this team to an undefeated season. Come on now.
Your level of belief in Shador Sanders, I love it.
You know me, I love my average backup quarterbacks. Big Tony, Will Levis, that's a tier list I should make. It's just my favorite average quarterbacks of all. Will Levis is obviously number one. Like all I want is I don't ask for much in this world, but if someone wants to give me an autographed Will Levis jersey, which probably shouldn't be expensive, it's probably like $52 at this point, I would appreciate that. I would love an autographed Will Levis. I have an autographed Antonio Brown Raiders jersey.
You gotta let your girl know. Christmas
she's refused.
Why?
She says it's a waste of a purchase. I don't think it is.
I mean, she has a strong argument in her favor.
It's not a strong. Who wouldn't want to sign Will Levis? You imagine, bro? Like you could just say, like people go, like, dude, why do you have a Will Levis signed jersey? It's like, why don't you?
You know what? While we've got all 32 teams here, I would say who do we, if we have to rank, like let's say top 5 hot seat coaches, who would we say?
I think Stefanski and Taylor.
Yeah, I was gonna say Zach Taylor, Stefanski are definitely in there. I don't know. I don't necessarily know the order of this, but if I have to pick a top 5, I'd say Stefanski, Taylor, maybe Brian Daboll, but like maybe they're giving him the leash because they're like he's like I never really got my quarterback.
I think they're giving Daboll the leash. I think Daboll, it's a way too long of a leash. Him and Joe Shane, they just have the longest leash. But I think I think McDaniel's hot seat coach. Yeah, I think Daboll's on the lukewarm tier. Like his seat is a little lukewarm. Like it's getting a little warmer, but it's not hot yet.
And I think my 5th, I would probably go Gannon.
Who? Oh, Jonathan Gannon? Really?
Yeah.
I got Steichen over Gannon.
Oh yeah, that's a fair one.
Fair one. Like I feel like the only one is Callahan, and Callahan's like the only one where I could see where the Titans are like, yeah, this guy's just a goober. He's just a good. He tricked us. His legendary dad tricked us We just wanted his legendary dad as an O-line coach and stuff. We just wanted Bill Callahan. Yeah, because like I feel like the coaches that are lukewarm, like are Canales. I think Gannon's on the lukewarm category because I think it's just the players like Gannon. Like I don't know. I think the Cardinals GM that he just likes Gannon too. Like Gannon just seems like a solid dude. Like he just seems lukewarm though. He doesn't seem like he's a hot seat where he's like, "Hey guys, look, we're one of the worst teams."
This is also his third year.
Yeah. But I think he's a good convincer. Like he's like, guys, look, I'm in a tough conference. You know, we're still building the roster. Just give me one more year. And they're like, yeah, Gannon, you're right. We'll give you one more year. And McVay's like, yeah, give him one more year. Fuck him. That way I can beat him every single week. Sick. Like McVay's excited that this is happening and stuff. But yeah, no, I think lukewarm is Gannon. I think Canales is lukewarm. I think Dable's lukewarm. Like they could become hot seat. Yeah. But I think for me, it's Stefanski, it's Zach Taylor, especially if the Bengals do well. It's Steichen, and then the other two that you mentioned. Who were the other two that you mentioned? Who else did you mention?
I said Dable.
Yeah, Dable. No, I'm not on the Dable
train. Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel's on the hot seat for sure. Like if he doesn't do well. And then let's see. You know who would be on the surprising hot seat, and it would shock me if he did. It wouldn't shock me if he did get fired, but it could be just like, hey, we just need a new voice in this locker room. Is it Ryan? No, if the Bills don't win, I could see McDermott.
Ooh, McDermott.
Yeah, I could see after watching
after
watching Hard Knocks, I could see where the players might get sick and tired of hearing the same shit. Like when McDermott was all like, "It doesn't matter what your name is, where you're at on the depth chart. You could be here." And I'm like, bro, Josh Allen ain't getting benched. Shut the fuck
up. Wait. He's saying that, and somewhere in that room in the back, you just see Mitchell Trubisky like, I don't actually want to. I'm comfortable getting $4 to $5 million doing nothing. I'm comfortable. Like,
yeah, the only thing that sucks is that it's cold here, but it's fine. Get paid well.
There's great wings. Have any of you guys tried the wings?
Yeah, so yeah, I think McDermott could be like that sneaky, like, what? He got fired? No way. What are the Bills doing? And it's like, no, I could see it. Like I could see why they fired him. Like it's just, hey, like you did. It's like Mark Jackson, where it's like, hey, you did a great job with the Warriors, but Steve Kerr has to come in and actually coach him up. Where it's just like there's going to be a coach that's available where they're just like, this guy's available. Should we try to get him and get us over the top? Yeah, definitely. Let's do it. And then who that coach is, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure there will be something where it will happen like that, where it's just like, oh yeah, freaking Nick Saban wants to coach the Bills, and they're like, yeah, let's bring Nick Saban in, sure. And it's like, why?
Thank you for reminding me. Is there anything you'd like to say before we wrap up about Alabama?
Nothing. No, Kalen DeBoer's just burn in hell. That's it. Like I have nothing else to say about this beer belly piece of shit. My team used to be feared. Nick Saban said it best. I want people to be afraid of us when they play on Saturdays. And this motherfucker has lost this, man. This defense is soft. Like Thomas Castellanos was right. They don't got Nick Saban to save us anymore. Like last year should have been like. If you like, here's the thing: you want to be Bama, just run the read option. Because we lost to Vanderbilt because of why? The read option. We lost to Oklahoma. Why? Because of the read option. The teams we beat are the teams that don't run read option. So if you want to play, when you play against Alabama, just run a bunch of read option. You're going to win that game because it's a bunch of soft bums on defense. These guys are bums, absolutely bums. This offense sucks. Ben Grubbs is back. This is why Ben Grubbs couldn't even handle 1 year in the NFL. He comes back and calls a pathetic-ass game, a lame-ass duck game. I miss Nick Saban. Like, Nick Saban, stop doing Home Depot commercials. Stop doing Airbnb commercials. Stop with the Aflac duck. I need you to be coaching it. Hire someone to do NIL for you. I don't care. Just be back there. Quit asking.
I just want to say, you started by saying I have nothing to say, and then you actually said a lot.
You just pissed me off. That's why I got triggered. I got fucking
You're
triggered by
just
this.
honestly, you're just very lucky that it was an away game for Alabama because
It was.
I would have brought up this whole Nick Saban's record of home openers.
No, this was an away game. We lost on the road.
No, I know, but I'm saying if it had been a home game, then I would have brought up Kalen DeBoer losing a home opener versus Nick Saban.
If he lost a home opener in Tuscaloosa, that would have been. I hope someone hit him with the Dodge Ram if that happened. Like if he walked out, Dodge Ram just hits Kalen DeBoer. Like this guy's such a bum. Like you know what's sad about this loss too? The Florida State head coach was actually the coach Nick Saban was like, yeah, you should get that guy and stuff.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, and it was between him. It was between him and DeBoer, and then Florida State heard Alabama was coming and upgraded his coaching package. And Mike Norvell was like, I'm good. I'll stay in Florida State. And I'm just like, no, because the thing Alabama was looking at was a coach that is a good coach, but also hits the transfer portal well. That was something Kalen DeBoer was really good at one point in time. Like Fresno State, he did a good job rebuilding that team for 1 year, went to Washington, attacked that transfer portal, brought in great players like Michael Penix, brought in like a Jalen McMillan. Like he built like this really, really good team and stuff. And so Alabama thought, we're going to get this guy. He's going to attack the portal. He's going to bring all these kids in. He's been horrible in the portal. He hasn't brought anyone at all. He hasn't brought in anyone at all. And then look at this Florida State team. Yeah, there's no continuity to it, but Thomas Castellanos was a Boston College fucking quarterback. The defensive line, most of them were former SEC players that were either like tired that they weren't playing or transferred out to Florida State. Like that's what this coach does. And so, but Saban said you should get that guy, and then he got. It's not like he denied Bama. It was just more of like it's just like Florida State came back and heard, and we're like, hey, we'll give you like an extra. Like, how much are we gonna pay you? Yeah, we'll give you that. And he's like, instead of uprooting my whole family, fuck it, I'm staying at Florida State, and it's easy to recruit here too because not only is he getting transfer guys, but he has Florida talent. Alabama, you have to do a little bit more recruiting.
I know this doesn't mean anything because it's not official rankings, but AP top 25, man. Alabama down 13 spots. Meanwhile, Florida State 14th. The trend last week, they weren't even ranked.
No, yeah, we shouldn't even be ranked. Like the fact that we're ranked is fuck. It's just about name value. Yeah, Louisiana Monroe, somehow they're gonna. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. If you want to be Bama, just run a bunch of options and jet sleep. Like I should have known too. I forgot Gus Malzahn, the Auburn coach that would give me headaches and stuff. I forgot that he was the OC at freaking Florida State this year. So I was like, oh great, this asshat. Welcome back. I have to watch you call plays again. I thought I was done with this shit. I thought I could live my life in peace, but yeah. It is what it is. But I told people too, Alabama ain't going to be that good this year. Like I've been telling people, like I'm just a realist with it. But sadly, we're stuck with this fuckhead. Well, you know, I want Dan Lanning. Please go home. Lane Kiffin, I'll take you, man. Sark, it's not working in Texas. Come back home. Come back to Bama.
Oh yeah, actually, interestingly, because I was looking at it today. Arch Manning's for the number one overall pick futures, he is now plus 800 to be the first overall, and Garrett Nussmeier is now the favorite at plus 350. Yeah. Romeo's guy.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Nussmeier looked amazing. Klubnik looked good too. Yeah, I think people are being a little bit too harsh on Arch. Like I understand that, guys. He's a redshirt sophomore. John and I have talked about this, that he most likely won't come out until next year. And he was playing an Ohio State defense that has some of the best talent in the world with a good DC and Matt Patricia. Like, I don't know what you were expecting. Arch wasn't going to light that defense on fire. Like, I would like you to name a quarterback that would have light that defense on fire. Because whether it be Garrett Nussmeier, whether it be Clay Klubnik, those teams would have lighted them on fire and stuff.
Yeah, Romeo. Nussmeier is now he's plus 350 to be the first overall.
Yeah, but Nussmeier is I really like Nussmeier. I thought that last year he was good. He definitely would have gone drafted last year in the second round for sure. but I think this game showed a lot of what he can do as a quarterback. I think he is a starting level quarterback at the NFL level, 100%. After watching this game against Clemson, very, very good pocket awareness, very good mobile. Has a nice arm. His arm just looks a lot stronger from like last year. Last year, his arm would be kind of hit or miss, but Nussmeier looked really well. Lenore Sellers, he looked okay against Virginia Tech. Nothing too spectacular. Drew Aller, I don't think Penn State played anyone that off the top of my head. I didn't really watch that.
Ours is 850 and Nussmeier's 300, so I was slightly off. I thought it was 350 and 800, but I mean, either way.
Did you see Ruben Bain Jr.'s notebook where it just said fuck Notre Dame a bunch of times? So Ruben Bain Jr. is a defensive end for Miami, and he was in his team notebook he wrote fuck Notre Dame, fuck Notre Dame,
I appreciate the hate that the man had.
Hey, look at my guy Sam Levitt moving up the boards. I told you, everyone, watch out.
Just for shits and giggles, I did put, like, granted it was $1.50 because it's tax now, but I put $1 on Caleb Downs. So
it's not about if there's a team that already has their quarterback and they say fuck it, we'll take the best player in the draft and Caleb Downs because he is the best player in the fucking draft. That's not a bad bet. I'm cool with that.
There's plenty of, like, you could see a situation where there's, like, I'm not saying a race to the bottom, but where there's a team that has the quarter, like, for, a great example would be the Titans, actually. Like, let's say you have Cam Ward. Cam Ward looks good enough, but there's just not enough around him. And so because of that, you end up with the first overall pick. Like, I could see a world where they would be considering a wide receiver or something like that. But however, I do understand it's the first overall pick. You're not going to burn it on any of these wide receivers that are coming out. They don't look like the OBJs, Jettas, Jamar Chases of the world. But you don't need the quarterback.
There could be a world where,
really good secondary.
Yeah, and there could be a world where they don't want to trade down because they're just like, nah, we're good with our capital and stuff like that. Like, we just want to take the best guy. Carson Beck looked good too. He looked good against Notre Dame. He actually looked a lot better than he did for Georgia last year and stuff. But what was the point I was trying to say something. There was like I don't know why I lost this point. It was college football related. I was trying to remember it. Something Nussmeier, Arch Manning, Caleb Downs. What was it? Oh, Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith. Horrible weeks for both those two.
Yeah,
they're not
drops.
Not both of them.
I didn't see Ryan Williams as much.
Oh, he's same issues, dropping the ball, not playing with confidence. Like, both those two did not look good at all and stuff. And especially after last year, Jeremiah Smith is being named the best player in college football right now, and he did not look like it on Saturday. And Ryan Williams did not look like one of the best.
Yeah, this is so. I mean, I don't know if Tankathon is necessarily updating compared to like FanDuel odds.
Tankathon is always kind of like in a weird spot.
It'll take a little while.
Yeah, they kind of take like 50 years before they actually update, and then you're like, oh, like, yeah, awesome and stuff. But let me see what my good old Walter Football. Let me see what my friend Charlie has. He did this on September 1st. Yeah, he has Charlie Campbell. He has the Saints taking Sellers at 1, Kedrick Fault with the Titans at 2, Isaiah World at the Cleveland Browns at 3, Nussmeier with the Browns at 4, so he's expecting the Jacks to suck dick. TJ Parker for the Panthers at 5, Peter Woods, New York Giants DT for Clemson, Chicago Bears getting Caleb Downs. Okay, that's not happening. Vegas, the Monty Jackson. Really? He's not a top 10 pick, but okay. Yeah, so he has a couple, but no other quarterbacks besides Sellers taken in the first. And I don't know. Sellers did not look that impressive to me, at least.
Well, Chase, let the people know where they can find you, my good sir.
You can find me in my bed in about a couple minutes, but you can follow me on X at ChaseOliver68. I am beat. I cannot wait to get in my bed, be a psychopath, and just go to sleep, dream, wake up, and then say to myself, oh man, just one more day. You know what my alarm is right now? It's the NFL on NBC theme. And so I wake up and I just say to myself in my Tarico impression, it's Wednesday morning and Chase Oliver is getting up as he's getting ready to go to work. But he has a big shift ahead as there's going to be a bunch of units in the queue for him to pick. Will Chase finish it all? Or will he get drowned out? Tune in to Sunday night. Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and I'm here with Chris Collinsworth. And I just play the whole music and stuff. And then, NFL. So to me, NFL on NBC is number one for the music. CBS is number two. ESPN 3. Fox 4. Amazon dead last. NFL Network, YouTube. I don't know what they do. Like, I barely listen to their music. I've never heard that.
Netflix. Is Netflix getting games again?
Oh, Netflix. Yeah, they're getting them. I don't remember the music though.
Yeah, I don't either. I was more to see if you did.
No, I don't remember the music. Because Amazon. I don't know. Every time I hear the Amazon theme, I just get like I don't know. I'm just like I don't feel like boo do 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 do. Ba, 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 ba. I'm like, oh, what's this, bro? Like, it's not. It's no do 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 do.
Yeah.
Do, 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 da, 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 da. I'm
not gonna lie though. I think honestly that rock remix of with Snoop Dogg of "I Can Feel It in the Air Tonight" from Monday Night Football gets me every time.
No, I don't count those. I don't count the intros. I count just like the production music,
Gotcha.
like the background music, like the only thing Fox has overall with him is the injury music. And we'll be back. It's like the sad.
But guys, we're really close to Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, exactly. No, but NBC, it's just like, oh man, I love every music with the highlight package music and stuff. Like their music just kicks ass. CBS have a great intro, have a great great background sound when the announcer's like, and welcome to CBS and stuff like that. But then afterwards, the rest of the music kind of falls short. Like it just kind of falls short, man. Like it's not as strong as NBC's. NBC top to bottom. And I know I was ranting that NBC is stealing these games, but CBS Fox needs to stop being cucks and keep their games. But I love NBC's music, so that's why I cannot wait for the. Oh my god!
Let's go back. Just like the title of the video, guys. The next time we catch up with you, we will have had 16 games, and Chase and I are gonna have 16 games to talk about. So until next, what?
No bye weeks for teams. We still talk about more games. I still talk about the Jaguars and the Panthers.
Yeah, still got to talk about the Jaguars. Yeah. But I mean, we may be able to talk about Travis Hunter on his quest to be both offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, that'd be a nice bet if it hits, man.
Well, alrighty, guys. Until next time, remember, take care of yourselves and each other, and we will catch you all later.